I'm Kim. I'm part of the COVA project team and I'm with my boyfriend Jack.
We're going to talk about periods.
And we're going to talk all things periods.
When was the first time you learnt about periods in your life?
Really tried to avoid that subject.
Oh, good.
Yes, it's been a difficult subject, mainly because women will not talk about it. And men are so keen to know.
It's quite funny because in primary school, we did the sex ed talk, very, big drama. But all the boys were marched out of the room when they talked about periods. And it was not covered and no one knew what they were talking about.
I went to an all-boys high school and we spent the best part of 3 years covering various sex ed topics, none of which really helped us gain even a basic understanding of menstruation.
I guess the first time I spoke about it or learned more in depth above and beyond what you would read or hear is with you, my first long-term partner.
No high school me. Your girlfriend.
Yeah,
well, that's because I talk
yes.
about it all the time.
That's helps.
What do you think the average bloke thinks about periods?
Nothing. Nothing.
Sex education and so forth, the only thing I can remember when I was probably in year 7 or 8 is my dad taking me to a father-son night at the Coonung Heights Church and purchasing a book called He and She.
Yeah.
And that was about it.
Father and son nights, mother and daughter nights, mother and son nights, father and daughter nights, all that sort of stuff. Usually a single slide or a graph showing the female body in parts, and it was pretty wild and woolly. You had no idea what it was. It was really horrific.
Are you okay?
Yeah. I'm sure there was did that all make sense, son? And you probably went, oh sure, mum or dad.
We really never spoke about it.
My dad was hopeless too.
What happened was it was all very taboo. It was all very, literally behind the shelter sheds at school and very smutty.
I think I started to become not self-aware, but aware of others anyway, when probably girls would walk off or not play PE and they'd just go to the bathroom. And
Yeah.
Can you describe a menstrual cup?
Well, I first heard about a menstrual cup, I guess, when the COVA project was just beginning. I had never heard of a menstrual cup before then. I was asked by my brother what it was. What slipped out was a keep cup, of course, because it's reusable, a keep cup for your vagina. Which, when I said it, I thought, that's really, really stupid.
Yeah.
And since then, I realized my
It's a
genius.
good-
I realized my genius.
Do you know what PMS stands for?
No.
Okay, do you know what it is?
No.
It's 3 letters, PMS. Do you want to take a stab at it?
Premenstrual. Yes, I'm struggling with.
Premenstrual struggling.
It's not satisfaction, is it? I can't answer you because it's been taboo.
yeah, I don't know. I think men in general just lack awareness about a lot of things, but particularly health issues and particularly female health issues.
What do you reckon would happen if you spoke to your dad about periods and menstruation? How did you handle that?
La 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 la.
You go from this primary school age to no awareness to high school age of what is that, and then the actual adult age of I now understand that this is actually the thing that gives life to literally everyone on the planet.
It's, it does affect women every month.
Yeah.
And especially if you're living with with a woman, sorry, you want to understand what that person is going through.
In terms of periods, we never, I guess, gave girls any concession, I suppose, for feeling crap when they had their period. It was, she's in a bad mood, she must have the rags on, sort of thing.
Right.
Now you have daughters in menstrual health. What would you say has to change?
I think the first lesson for me was the understanding that women firstly were humiliated and secondly, that actually took time away from their social surroundings or work surroundings, and they needed the time off, and sometimes that time equated to 50 days a year.
Yep.
From an education point of view or a work point of view, they're losing out to men, so men are constantly being favoured, and if we really want to equal the scales up, we've got to make a greater effort to even the scales. So that was the first thing for me.
So I guess when you became a father of 2 girls, how did your attitude change at all? Did you become more aware?
Yes and no. I mean, probably in a way that was therefore something I left to your mum.
Yeah.
You know, that's something I feel is probably quite wrong, and something that I probably could have done a lot better as a father.
I think guys need to be involved in the conversation a lot more.
Well, going from my personal experiences, if there was more emphasis placed on knowledge surrounding menstruation among young males, I think that would change things significantly.
I think obviously as a society we would benefit with a lot of things that are taboos by openly discussing them and feeling more comfortable about them.
Education, education, education.
Cheers to conversation and education.
Education and
Cheers.
having a discussion with the opposite sex,
Yep.
finding out a bit about it.
Even if it's your dad.
Maybe not your dad.